Are you looking for more ways to practice and develop your clairsentience? Well, that is what we're talking about today. So stick around and let's get into it. Hi, I'm Veronica and welcome to the Wholeness Shift. If this is your first time here, welcome. I teach people about easy, practical spirituality and intentional living and all of the things that you need to know to navigate your spiritual awakening. If this interests you, hit the subscribe button below. I wouldn't want you to miss out on anything good. And if this is not your first time here, welcome back, family. And wouldn't you know it, as soon as I start filming this, my neighbor starts mowing his lawn. So if you happen to hear a lawnmower, it'll be over soon. As with many of you, my main gift is clairsentience. I have others. I have all of them, but by far clairsentience is the most prominent. But it wasn't always so strong. It wasn't always so prevalent. I didn't even know I had it for most of my life. It wasn't until I started meditating that my gifts really started to develop and actually come online and caught my attention. So once I realized that I had this gift, I started looking for ways to develop it and make sense of it and make friends with it. I've made a few other videos related to this topic, so I will link those below. So let's get into some ways that you can practice with this gift. Number one, you already know what I'm going to say. Meditate. You need to get those vibes up. That's going to get your vibrations up, and it's going to get you in touch with your soul and your natural way and state of being. And then this is going to help you open up to whatever gifts that you naturally have. Can you have these gifts without meditation? Of course. But raising your vibes really is the key. Meditation and tapping in and tuning into that natural state of being for you really is the key. I know that if I skip meditation for even just a few days, my clairsentience diminishes a bit. So you really do need to keep those vibes as high as possible in order to keep these gifts strong. So if that's your goal, is to tap into and develop your gifts, and you haven't already started meditating, I strongly recommend that you would consider that. And if you aren't sure where to begin, or you don't even know how to start meditating, I have a great video that can help you with that, and I will link to that below as well. Number two, ask your guide to light up different parts of your body, to shine their energy on those parts of your body, and you just feel for the energy. Like I used to sit around and just say, Spomi, light up the left lower lobe of my lung. Light up my hypothalamus. Light up my pituitary gland. Light up my pineal gland. Light up my liver. Where's my spleen? You can light up anything. You know, where are my ovaries? Light up my ovaries. And just pay attention in your body for where you're feeling that glow of energy, that bright energy that your guide is going to be sending to that area. It just helps you to learn to recognize the energy and where it shows up. Number three, ask your guides to light up your chakras. It's the same type of situation, same little game, but, you know, just be like, light up my sacral chakra, light up my crown chakra, light up my rear heart chakra, because you know you have chakras all down your back as well, on your rear. And so that gets you familiar with where that energy is and where those energy centers are, and it's just a fun little way to continue to practice recognizing the energy in your space. Number four, practice different energetic signs and symbols from your guides. For example, when I was first developing this gift and I was playing all these games with Spomi, I'm like, let's work out some kind of shorthand. Like, what signs or symbols can you give me when I need to know something? For example, how can you show me that someone is telling the truth or is trustworthy? And I felt my third eye just like, whoa. And I'm like, okay, well, how do I know if someone is not trustworthy or that they're lying to me? And I felt this duller, heavier energy in my stomach and like solar plexus and sacral chakra area. And so that is our symbol for that. Like I can tell if someone's telling me the truth, or if I'm like, can I trust this person? And I will either feel my third eye glow for yes, or my stomach like for no. So you can work out symbols for anything you want, but that's ours. Number 5, sit quietly and ask your guide to come into your space and stand really close to you. And then see if you can feel the energy and tell where they're standing. And then ask them to move to different areas around you and see if you can tell. Like, he started back here and now he's up here. Ask them to slowly walk in a circle around you and see if you can feel that energy shift around your body. Number 6, ask them to let you feel the energy of other people or things. I talked a little bit about this in my video about grounding, where I talked about aligning your energy with that of an oak tree. And so that's what I'm talking about. You can be like, let me feel the energy of my dog, Rufus. Or will you show me the energy of Veronica from the Wholeness Shift, or anything you want. I actually used to do this, after I had broken up with my fiance in Arizona and moved home. I didn't date for like 3 years on purpose because I just wanted that time to heal and regroup. However, during that time, I would sometimes dream about who's coming, like who's my next person. I knew my guides already knew. I mean, the roster is already lined up. And so I used to just say something like, will you please show me the energy of my person, the next person you have for me? And it was this very specific energy, this bright yet warm and loving energy, very intense in my solar plexus, with a little bit radiating towards my heart and some towards my sacral chakra. It was very specific. And every time I would meet somebody where I'm like, well, they're kind of cute, I'm like, will you connect me to their energy and let me feel it? And it would never match. And I'm just like, So anyways, then when Fred and I started talking and we were thinking about getting together, and I was so hesitant because if you know our history and our story, Fred and I have known each other for like 35 years. I met him when I was 12 or 13, and he was a teenager, and he was a punk. We met in the youth group at church, and he was just a jerk. He was a punk. But anyways, so then when we started talking, I'm like, I don't know how to feel about Fred flirting with me because he's Fred. And historically, Fred and I were kind of frenemies. But anyways, then I was like, connect me to Fred's energy and let me feel it. And it was that energy of my person. And I was just like, I'm like, Spomy, is that what I feel? And he's like, yes. And I'm like, are you telling me that Fred is my person? And he's like, yes. And I was like, wow. All right, I trust it then. And so I decided to go ahead. Number 7, ask your guide to pick out something visible in your room, and then hold your hand out and ask them to show you in your hand what it will feel like in your hand when you come near that object. And then pay attention to, does your hand glow? Like, what does the energy in your hand feel like? Do you get a tingle? Does it glow? And then slowly walk around your room and pass your hand over all the objects and watch for that feeling. That's a good way to practice. And sometimes the energy will be really subtle, so pay attention, but it's still a really good way to practice. Now you get to go have fun with this. Go practice. Have a blast. Get to learn how it feels. Get to know your gifts. Grow, learn, expand, develop. Let me know in the comments how it goes, and go watch those videos that I have linked in the description box because they will definitely help you. And if you haven't yet, go over to TikTok and subscribe to me because I'm finally over on TikTok. So here we go. Until next time.